My story. I'd like you to imagine this: a young girl who attends a selective grammar school, achieves good grades, and has a great group of friends, volunteers at her local charity shop on weekends, and undertakes many extracurricular activities. This girl seems like she would lead a successful life, right? But behind closed doors was the same girl, only this time she would compare herself to others on social media. She felt she would never live the life she dreamt of, and she believed she had no power whatsoever in controlling her own future. She felt stuck and thought there was no real way out of the structure of life set out for her, so continued her life as it was. It's okay not to be okay. This was the young girl's motto. It wasn't until her younger sister had become very ill that her life had changed. Her younger sister had extreme anxiety. She could no longer attend school, eat food, leave the house or travel anywhere. She really had become a form of disability. This was all from the thoughts in her head. This had rocked the young girl's world. After months of researching and testing different methods, alas, the Thrive programme was found. This is a training method that teaches you a new way of perceiving life, an evidence-based method that is fundamentally based on challenging thoughts that limit you. You gain more control and you also increase your self-esteem. That's within 6 weeks her sister was thriving. That is 6 weeks where her sister had gone from daily panic attacks lasting from 4 to 5 hours to no anxious thoughts. And the young girl, now grown up, had realised that she had been taught a new lesson that she'd never known from school. She had learned how to control her mind, and this was the most powerful tool. The girl spoken about in the animated movie is me. My name is Rajni Brang. When I came across the Thrive programme, I didn't have ill mental health, but I also didn't feel much satisfaction or positivity in my life. As I mentioned in the animation, I had heard of the Thrive programme due to my sister's emetophobia, which was basically an extreme phobia of vomiting. Growing up, I had previously displayed signs of disordered eating and had many unhelpful ways of thinking that were limiting me in the life that I wanted to live and I dreamt of. Further to this, I had always been so used to feeling over-controlled by my dad that despite being an educated person, I had never given it second thought. It had become so normalised to me. The biggest change I made going through the programme with my sister was I gained a great sense of power and self-esteem that I was able to communicate this to him. I then was able to step away from a relationship that I had felt so hopeless and powerless from. This was something that wouldn't have even crossed my mind when I was younger. I just want to highlight that again. I felt so hopeless in changing my life before the programme that I would have rather spent an entire lifetime feeling controlled rather than making a change. I am now proud to say that I feel very in control of my life, I feel great and I feel powerful. I really do see life through a fresh set of lenses. I cannot wait to help others going through the same life-changing experience using the Thrive programme. Thank you for listening to my story.